It's time to move into a new subreddit for new sources of stories. r/funny stories by online comps. Young, with a lot of free time. I was about 17 and still living at home. Pretty nice neighborhood, with houses real close together. Anyway, I was at Walmart one day and saw they had small garden gnomes for sale for super cheap, like couple dollars per. So naturally I bought as many as I could. I had maybe 40 to 50 and absolutely no idea what to do with them. A few days later I was walking my dog, pitbull/boxer mix and the sweetest thing, and I passed a lady with a small dog. This little dog started barking at mine, and this lady fucking kicked my dog. I didn't know what to do, but I saw her rush home and go inside, and that's when I got an idea. Every night between 11:30 to 01:00 I would walk up to her front door and put one gnome just right in their entryway. I'd get up the next day for school and sometimes see her look at it and throw it away. As the days passed I got more creative and started hiding them or putting them in little scenes. One day I saw her and her husband yelling at each other, pointing at them. I'm pretty sure I drove them insane, and it was well worth the money I spent. Don't kick my fucking dog. Public restroom shenanigans. I have the smallest bladder ever, and I was out shopping with my kids. My oldest came into the bathroom with me, so I use the bathroom and come out, wash my hands, and wait for her to come out too. I hear her let out the raunchiest of farts, so being that we are the only ones in the bathroom at the time, I start clowning on her big time. She wee, is your ass okay? And other comments, all while laughing hysterically. I'm mid-giggle when she pops her head in to let me know she is waiting for me outside. I grab her and run as fast as I can out of the bathroom. It was not her in the stall, it was a random stranger. 17 again. When I was 17, my girlfriend at the time was finally ready to have sex. I, as one might expect of a 17-year-old, was excited. Neither hell nor high water was going to stand between me and my final destination. I get ready for the night, trim everything up, shower extra well. Unfortunately there was also an issue. I have a digestional disorder that sometimes causes my tea to become large and quite solid while still inside me. I wasn't aware it was a treatable problem and, in fact, just thought everyone had to deal with the equivalent of anal kidney stones. I bring this up because I had a mighty one which had been loaded into the gun for several days. Let me set the scene. Her parents are away. We have her house to ourselves. She was always a little kinky, so she demands we do it in her parents' bed. I walk into a candle holocaust. She's been working on this all day apparently, and it's as bright as high noon and there with the lights off. Which is good, because she proceeds to do a sweet, sexy little dance for me. At 16, she was amazing. For those of you who never experienced a female at that age, I pity the fool. Now I'm sitting on the bed, watching this dance. I smile and tell her how good she looks. Unfortunately, most of my attention is focused on the dull throbbing from my sphincter and the large amount of intestinal discomfort associated with not dropping doochie in days. But somehow I still get hard, and we go to town. She starts out on top, then we switch. I bent her over the bed, and I even smack her $. A ballsy move at the time, but she loved it. Due to my built-up distraction, I'll last for what seems like forever. She can't stop moaning and telling me how good it feels, and then she says what every man wants to hear: I want to make you go in my mouth. I **** love women. So she goes down on me. She was always average at best in the head department, but at least she tried. She pops my **** out of her mouth long enough to look up at me and say, tell me if you like this. Then I feel it. She stuck her finger up my ass. My brain hits the panic switch, and every muscle in my entire body locks up tighter than a 3-year-old virgin. But it's too late. I take a massive, painful shit all over her parents' comforter. No, you aren't understanding. I mean large, huge, immense. Take your largest tea and multiply it by 42, and you'll have an idea of what flew out of me. And gents, when I say flew, I don't mean I pooped. I mean projectile. I mean hurricane force wind hitting an umbrella stand. And due to my condition, it comes out as a large, dark brown, smelly harpoon. I know it hit her. I didn't see it. She ran screaming, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, but I always imagined that, due to her position, it hit her right in the chin. Or at least the tits. I would like to say I got up to go after her, but I heard the bathroom door shut and I just lied there. The smell hit me after a few seconds. It smelled like someone rolled a cat in SHAT and threw it into a tire fire. I looked down and saw, to date, the largest bowel movement I've ever heard of laying on the bed. Then I noticed the blood, and when I did, I noticed the pain. Apparently the fact that it was so large caused it to rip my ass a little bit. Thought I was bleeding from the inside. This little doctor's trip the next day is what taught me of my condition. There was a small pool of blood where my $$ had been. A final reminder of the exact place and moment I lost my virginity. I will treasure this memory for all my days. I grab my tea with my hands and go to the downstairs bathroom. I throw around 1/3 into the toilet and flush, fearing any more will clog it and only add to my already significant woes. I stand there, holding 2/3 of my biggest tea of all time, feeling a trickle of blood flow down my leg, trying to ignore the sharp pain stabbing my rectum. I find myself wishing I had a photo of this. Anyway, I finish flushing my baby, clean off my hands, jam toilet paper between my cheeks. I skipped the band-aid and went upstairs. I could hear my girlfriend sobbing from behind the bathroom door. I decided not to say anything to her and just keep moving. The smell in her parents' room was abysmal. It's like when you take a tea and walk out of the bathroom you think hey not so bad today, but then you walk back in to grab your magazine and go holy tea. It was one of those moments. The scene is burned behind my eyelids for all time. My life. My shame. My very first time smelled like a pile of dead babies. I quickly got dressed, since the heat from 10,000 candles was making the room feel more like a porta potty. I was aware enough to grab the comforter on my way out and drag it downstairs to their washer. Also the top and bottom sheets, since the blood had leaked on through all the way to mattress. Still no sign of the GF, but at this point I considered it a blessing. I jammed in the washer with 3 loads worth of detergent and set it on spin, knowing that not even the hand of God would save these linens, let alone tied and snuggles. Then I left. I avoided my GF's calls for days until she came to my house. We had a long talk about what happened. Talk being synonymous with breaking up with me because I asterisk on her, and it was all over. She promised not to tell a soul and I don't think she ever did. She was probably as ashamed as I was about the whole deed. But I will always remember this happening as the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. Thief robbed my mom. Didn't realize it was poop. So, this happened a lot of years ago, but my mom always likes to tell this story when she remembers it, and I laugh every time. For context, my big brother was a toddler and had a medical condition at the moment. I'm not sure what it was, but it had something to do with parasites. Because of that, my brother had to get samples of his poop to do analysis. Now, my mother is a medic. She knows other doctors in the hospital and has friends as well. One of them happened to be attending my brother, so he gifted her a really pretty package where my mom could store the poop and couldn't forget. She's kinda clumsy and forget where things are frequently. And so, the day comes. A week later, my mom had to take the train with the package to get to the hospital. Unfortunately, it was almost full, but she could get in. However, just a second before the doors close, someone ran away with the package. Now, let's just imagine the point of view of this thief. Here's just another day on the train station looking for victims. Oh, what is that? A really fancy looking package, out in the open just for me. Man, that really looks expensive. Today is my lucky day. I wish I could have seen his face. Dads bragging about their sons, but they're actually gay. So 4 men are talking about how successful their sons are. So the first said my son owns a car dealership and he just gave his friend a Ferrari. The second man said my son owns an airline and he just gave his friend a private jet. The third said my son owns a kingdom and he just gave his friend a castle. Then they asked the fourth man if his son was rich, and he said actually no, he's gay and he gets his stuff from his boyfriend sir. 3 then asked if he was ashamed of his son, and he said no, actually he just got a free Ferrari, private jet, and castle from his boyfriends. The time I destroyed a stall in the Walmart bathroom. So I'm with my family at Walmart. In the Midwest, or at least the areas I've lived in, Walmarts are pretty fucking big. So I'm way in the back where the hunting/outdoor supplies are at, and I suddenly hear nature's call. Now at the time, I didn't know there were employee bathrooms in the back areas of the store. I thought bathrooms were just at the front. So I'm like damn, and have to walk to the front from the back. While I'm walking, pressure is building, and the clock is rapidly nearing 0. I eventually am forced to waddle like a penguin to keep myself from making a mess of the entire store. I ask a kindly older employee, colder being my grandma in terms of age, where the bathroom is. Oh, right over there, darling. I thank her, and waddle my desperate, sweating ass over to the bathroom. Waddling like I've never waddled before or after, I make it to the bathroom. At this point, pressure is to the point I could pop the top off of an Abrams and send it into the stratosphere. I disrobe from the waist down and preppy to do my business, bending oh so slightly before I sat. I can't properly describe the sound. Kadosh would be the best I can put into words. It was like dynamite in a lake. Slightly deafened, I slowly turned back, and dear God, the sight that I beheld. Everything is covered. I mean covered. The wall behind the toilet, the walls that make up the rest of the stall behind me, behind the toilet, the fucking ceiling is covered, and it's just a painting of sorrow. I cleaned myself up, I was ready to fun, as best I could, and quickly departed the stall. Of course, as luck would have it, a man roughly in his 50s comes into the bathroom. He smiles, greets me, and I greet him, before making my way to the door. Behind me I hear holy shit, and I run like my ass is on fire to find my family. Oh, that poor Walmart. That poor man. That poor janitor. Social justice warrior calls me homophobic. Back in high school I was dating another guy. So one day in class I sent him a gay meme. A girl in my class saw it and stared, yelling at me, calling me homophobic and how I should be ashamed of myself. Then later that same day I see her talking with my boyfriend about me being anti-progressive. I walk up and she starts yelling at me and expects my boyfriend to jump in. He just stands up and kisses me. She stopped shouting and just stared at us. My boyfriend explains to her that he likes gay memes and finds them funny. Then the shitstorm starts. She yells at both of us that we are homophobic and storms off. The next day word has gotten around that she called a gay couple homophobic. Nobody wants to talk to her anymore. She later left because of the backlash from the students on social media. I became the star in a Walmart customer service training video. A while ago I was a local Walmart and I wanted to buy a glowfish because one of mine had died. I have gotten fish there before and I knew I had to find someone to help me, so I found a staff member and asked for help. The salesperson said she would have to get someone trained to handle fish to help me. She then went on to explain you have to squirt the fish slime into the bag, write the SKU ash on the bag and whatnot. I thought, if she knew all of this, why couldn't she just help me? So I waited for 10 minutes and then decided to find another person who was also not trained, but she said she would get someone to help me. A minute later I heard a page overhead for help in the fish department, which I had not heard the first time. So I waited another 15 minutes and got fed up. As I said, I have bought fish here before, and I knew what to do. So I opened the tank cover, got a bag, and filled it with water, and squirted in the anti-stress fish slime, and grabbed the fish I wanted. I even plucked out 2 dead fish, and recorded them in the dead fish log. Then I used the air hose to fill the bag with air and tied it shut, wrote the SKU number on the bag for the checker, then wiped down the station and went on my merry way. When I went to Walmart again, I needed to stop at customer service, and a guy I know was working there. He had this little smirk on his face and he asked me if I was going to be getting any fish today. When I asked why, he told me that security had saved the video of me helping myself at the fish tanks, and that management had made everyone watch the video as an example of a customer service failure. I should have gotten paid. What's a prostitute? My neighbor and his wife decided to take their 10-year-old son on a camping trip in the beautiful North Georgia mountains. The neighbor wanted to add some camping traditions to it by telling campfire stories at night. Well, he wasn't much of a storyteller, so he purchased a book off Amazon that purported to have good campfire stories for the whole family. So, night falls and the campfire is lit, and he opens up the book and reads, Sandra was a prostitute that was nursing a nasty hangover. The father stops reading as it hits him that this is not a child-friendly story. Yet, the ever-inquisitive 10-year-old son immediately looks at his mom and asks, "Mom, what's a prostitute?" The mom chooses her words carefully and replies, "Well, a prostitute is someone who gets paid to be your friend." To which the 10-year-old's eyes light up and exclaims, "I want to be a prostitute." Random lady commented on my shit stinking. So yesterday I was minding my own business walking around Target just browsing, when suddenly it hit me. I all of a sudden got a horrible stomach ache and felt like I was literally about to shit my pants. I started speed walking towards the front of the store, almost taking down an old lady on my way. Of course, when I reached the bathroom, 2 women were standing at the sinks. I knew that right when I sat down it would be awful, so I forced myself to just stand in the stall and wait until they walked out. I finally did my business and it was pretty bad. I was sitting there and some lady walks in and goes, "Ooh, it stinks in here." I think I seriously died a little inside. Worst part is she was completely alone, so she wasn't even saying it to anyone. I just sat there silently, then went to grab some toilet paper. The dispenser made a weird noise that sounded like a fart, and I died a little more inside. I waited 10 minutes after she left to finally make my departure and hopefully avoid further humiliation. Please like the video and subscribe to support my channel. Subscribe again if you want a part 2 of this video. Hit the bell icon and comment your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching, and let this 2-pay cat brighten your day.